What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? Welcome to Sauce Sports. We apologize. I had a little bit of tardiness. It's been one of those days, man. Didn't get to push it out there on the gram and all of this stuff. But hey, y'all already know what it is, man. The pregame show. So welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. We talking all sports, but only Houston. With that being said, man, let's just get in it to win it. We got the roundtable in the mix. We're going to be talking about the Texans versus the Giants, the pregame. We're going to be talking about some things that, could be of interest that that have changed since the last time we spoke on this. But before we get into all that, we got a shout out to the roundtable. Who do we have in the roundtable this morning? So you're saying this evening, this afternoon. Who do we have in the roundtable this morning joining us to talk about these Texans and these motherfucking Giants?
It's your boy, motherfucking me. Breaking news, Braylon. And somebody got to eat crow to me today. Tell you that now. Somebody got to eat crow today.
Crow for breakfast. Ain't that a bitch? I don't feel bad. I had two last week, so it is what it is.
Crow go good with a side of bacon and a side of egg and toast right there. But I'm going to go ahead and eat the crow because I said Mizzou was going to upset Georgia yesterday, but they couldn't get it done like the Texans. They special teams is trash, and the receivers can't catch the ball. But it's your boy, Wise Citizens in the motherfucking midst, man.
And who is the newest member? We have a new guy on the round table joining us today. New guy. What's the deal?
It's your boy Hector Flores. I had a mishap when I was trying to trim my beard yesterday. So, if the Texans win, I'm not keeping this.
not a new trend, not a new habit.
Hell no.
I mean, what if it takes us to the Super Bowl?
I don't care if they win the Super Bowl. I want my beard back.
That's what's up. Shout out to the roundtable for joining us, man. Hey, but y'all know how we do this thing. Let's get in it real quick because we only have a limited amount of time before the pregame.
Hey,
ABC,
real quick.
What you got?
I do have to address my shirt real quick. Leave me alone. I am wearing the Baylor shirt, but the shirt was free. I ain't paid for this shirt. The shirt was free, so it's a good shirt. When something's free, you better use it to your I can't think right now. To your best abilities. Use it.
Hey.
I'm using the fuck out this shirt. It's free.
AIDS is free too, but don't mean you want to be using that, So that's all I'm saying. Look, just if we ain't gonna talk about shirt. Nobody would have said. Well, I don't know. They might have been talking about you in the chat because you got that line.
Yes,
Oscar the Grouch look going, but it's all good, man. It's better than the white polo and the khakis with the red hat. You know how you usually get down. So we'll take the green shirt over that. We got to give Breaking Torches Braylon a hard time, but it's all love. But we got to talk about the most important thing in the motherfucking city before we get into this game, and that's you, Sauce Nation. If you're not familiar with how this goes, man, we're gonna get into the roll call, the Sauce Nation roll call. So we're gonna send a little bit of digital love to everybody in the chat who's fucking with us today. So if you are not from the city, let us know what to send your digital love. But if you are from the city, the greater Houston area, which is the city, let us know where to send your love. So that means shout out your side with pride. And we're going to see who we got in the mix today. I think we have a special birthday I think I just seen. We will see. Let's see what we got. Oh, damn, somebody stole your piece of chicken, Cavity Creep. Ain't that a bitch? That's it's like stealing a horse in Texas. That's death penalty. Cavity Creep, Jay Bird, Wise, what's the motherfucking deal? Holding down the chat and the round table. That's putting in double duty. Clutch Gaming, Joe's House, Joshua Grant, DeMarcus Johnson, main account, Berkeley Boss, T-Mac, Aaron Anderson, what's the motherfucking deal? 335 holding it down. Let's see, Homer, Santos Flores, what's the motherfucking deal? Samuel Kuhn, Hector Rodriguez, Brian Miller, 337 in the house. So Louisiana repping already. Let's see, McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? Jacob Cotaluto, I hope I'm saying that right. Sunnyside in the motherfucking building. G-Town in the building already. All right, RIP to Screw tonight. We're going to take it slow, okay. Richmond, Texas in the motherfucking house. Shout out to Santos. Let's see, Kenneth Cologne. Okay, he ain't simping today. He gonna watch the game. Marcus, let me see. Make sure to see. Devontae Love, what's the motherfucking deal? Joshua Jaja, what's the motherfucking deal? I ain't even checked my damn fantasy football. I've been jumping off the lake. Roger Bush say repping the toilet, shitting out Odell's and Saquon's. I feel you. Hey, look. That sounds pretty crafty right there. Vampire Lord, Shelby GT02, what's the motherfucking deal?
Bottles for his B-Day. Shout out from the SWAT. From it, but not in it. If Texans don't win today, I'm done.
Man, look, Ash, but you got to stay faithful. But I appreciate the super saucy, super chat love, man. Texans gonna get that W today, man. If not, we're gonna be a sad panda. Kellen Boys, what's the motherfucking deal? Brandon Dudley, what's the motherfucking deal? Said hamstring bug going around. Yeah, what's his name is out today for the Jags? Real Swift, we're gonna get into that too. Real Swift 713, Brian Miller. Don't know if I shouted you out twice, but hey, twice is nice. 11 Sports, what's the motherfucking deal? Texans boy, what's the motherfucking deal? Danny MTZ, what's the motherfucking deal? El Lobo, always good to see you. What's the motherfucking deal? Voodoo Child. So I see happy birthday to Miss Voodoo. See, I got to excuse me the chat jumping around a little bit, y'all. Y'all super active today. And so I might be missing some of y'all. Some of the chats I saw earlier have disappeared. But shout out to Miss Voodoo C and Voodoo C, the greatest moderated couple in all land. But happy birthday to Miss Voodoo Child. And I hope you are having a good one. And hopefully the Texans get a win for the birthday. Let's see. Make sure everybody get this love, man. And then we go. Braden Foster, what's the motherfucking deal? Malik Nelson, what's the motherfucking deal? Zuchin Liu, I hope I said that right. I probably fucked it up, but what's the motherfucking deal? Jordan Hawkins, what's the motherfucking deal? Anthony Washington, Eastside Herald, always good to see y'all. Dre D Will, what's the motherfucking deal? And Eric Villa, what's the motherfucking deal? Jacob Ackman. Hopefully, okay. Look, if I'd have missed you, it ain't no hate. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta get into the mix. We gotta get into the conversation, and it's plenty to talk about. We're talking about the Texans. We're talking about the situation. We've talked about how we feel like if the Texans don't get it together, it could be an issue for the rest of the season. I mean, a lot of people already jumping off the ship. Even though it was 2 close losses. You know, people want to abandon the team. They want to fire people. They just want to burn the house down. You know what I'm saying? We always, what's the phrase? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's some good. There's some bad. Probably a lot more. The bad is more noticeable because it's been losses. You know, in wins you overlook a lot of shit. You highlight things that would normally you wouldn't give a fuck about. So let's talk about some things. Let's get into it. What is going to be the most important key to this game today is what we need to focus on. Will it be the offense getting out and scoring points? Will it be the defense being able to limit the playmakers of the Giants? And when I say playmakers, I'm not talking about Eli. I'm talking about Odell and Saquon, because these are guys that are going to probably do the most damage. I want to know your thoughts. We'll start with breaking news Baylor, and we'll get his idea. We'll get his opinion. We'll get his thoughts on it, man. Breaking news Baylor. Who is the key? What is the key? What is most essential in this game today for the Texans to get the victory against the 0-2 Giants? I mean, we're talking about 2 of the worst records in the league today. Who's going to actually come out with a win? Somebody has to win, or they could tie, but somebody has to win. So who gets the W today, and what is it going to need to be done to make that happen?
Nah, man, let's not talk about that tying bullshit, man. We not the Steelers or the Vikings or the Packers or the Browns. I ain't never this is the first time I've ever seen back-to-back weeks teams tying. Just saying. But that shit better not happen to us or not. I swear to God, it better not happen. But what I want to say is the development of having Clowney, Merciless, Duke Ejiofor wide on the field at the same damn time. Just saying. And they're benching Eric Flowers to possibly they benching Eric Flowers for a possible worse right tackle. I don't know how good this guy is, but he's possibly worse than Eric Flowers. So if he's worse than Eric Flowers, there's no damn excuse for why we shouldn't get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus sacks in the game. Just saying. That is the biggest factor. Then that'll force them to not have to run the ball. Because if they run the ball, and our linebackers, except for Cole, has looked a little suspect this season, that limits them from the use of pounding the ball with Saquon.
All right. Wise man, the wise man. I know you have all the thoughts pondering in your mind right now. You're looking at every analytic. You're looking at all the analysis. What is the most important key to the game for the Texans to come out with a dub against the winless Giants?
I believe it's just execution. You got to come out with firepower. You got to come out and be disciplined. You got to come out and do your job. The Texans haven't did that the first 2 weeks. The offense got to do their job. We got to get the running game started. They got a weak rush defense. The defense, the front seven need to get to the quarterback. Guys in the secondary need to lock down. Odell Beckham Jr. Lock down Shaquan Barkley. We need to contain. We got to contain Eli Manning. We got to make Eli Manning look like he did in the first 2 weeks. Obviously, this guy was stagnant in the pocket, so we need to bring some more blitz packages and things like that. So I think it's on all levels. It's from the coaching, it's from the players, and it's from the offense, the defense, and the special teams. Everybody has to execute and do their job today, and that's the only way the Texans can get a win against a team like the Giants.
New Hector, I want to know your thoughts, man. I want to know how you feel. I want to know how long it's going to take you to grow your beard back. But I want to know what you think is the key to the game in this situation. What do the Texans have to do to get this win?
To answer your question about the beard, it'll probably be like 2 to 3 weeks. Then it'll probably come back. But I just want a well-prepared game. Can this coaching staff just finally have a good strategy going into this game? Look like they actually did their homework going into this game. Because honestly, if you don't plan this game right, then the execution is going to be terrible. So they should have done their homework on this team. Because honestly, even though they're 0-2, they also still have a talented roster. So, and it's the same thing with the Texans as well. So this Texans just have to be well prepared for this game. Just because you're going up against a terrible O-line doesn't mean that, Eli can have like a fluke game and go out, So you have to go out there and do your best game. Be prepared for it.
I definitely agree. So I've heard some whispers and some murmurs, and I think it was Wiseman that dropped it previously in the chat that we may see a possible new face that we've been yet see. Not happening. No go. So no go. I got slightly excited. Well, fuck that new face then. Goddamn. We'll talk about an old face that's coming back. Clowney. And Clowney's in a very precarious situation right now. Hasn't really had a great start off to the year, but the team itself hasn't had a great start to the year. You play one game, don't really register any statistics. Not saying that he didn't pressure, not saying that he didn't have a presence, but it's always about the stat sheet. That's what everybody looks at. That's what everybody wants to go by. And then game 2 wasn't available to play, but yet was still getting penalties. What is Clowney going to need to do this game if he wants to secure the bag at the end of the season? He has to get something started. It has to be in this game if he plans on securing the bag at the end of the season. What would you expect from Clowney today, Hector? What does he need to do? What kind of stats does he need to produce to get rolling in the right direction?
The thing for the Patriots game, I think the Patriots definitely game planned on Clowney. That's the real issue, that he wasn't really able to come out big. So, now he's got to know that a lot of these teams are going to game plan for him. They know what he can bring. They know how explosive he can be, especially where he's very good at tackles for losses. So he needs to, one, realize that he's probably going to get double teamed. They're going to try to get him out of the game. But in a way, kind of like learn from J.J. Watt, because J.J. Watt, got double teamed and triple teamed and still was able to make stats. So hopefully, he talked to J.J. Watt about, what to do, how to go about it. But, he's versatile. You'll probably see him at defensive end. You'll see him at outside linebacker. So hopefully he can find a way to get through. Because, he needs to produce in order to get that paycheck.
Wise man. What are we going to need to see from one J.D. Clowney in order for him to get rolling in the right track so, he can cash that check from the Texans at the end of the season and be back here for a couple of more years? What do you need to see from him this game?
Before I start about Jadeveon Clowney, where is this man QT, man? You hear reports saying that it's a high chance of him playing from insiders in the Texans organization, and then this guy's inactive again. So, I mean, all I'm saying is, how do you have a hamstring injury for like 8 weeks, fam? It's been all preseason. It's been up to week 3. I just don't understand. But getting back to Jadeveon Clowney, this guy is a guy that dominated Nate Soldier the last 2 or 3 seasons going against the Patriots. He got to Tom Brady a couple of times. Eric Flowers is no problem at all. I want to see Jadeveon Clowney be able to contain the run. We know he's one of the best run stoppers in the league. He was tied for tackles, leading the league in tackles for a loss last season. So I want to see this guy in the backfield coming out with a lot of explosion, getting to the quarterback maybe for a sack this game. Jadeveon just got to go out there and play his game and play to his strengths, because this guy has speed. This guy, I mean, he don't have really a array of pass rushing moves, but he can still get to the quarterback. So if he can just use his speed to get around a guy like Eric Flowers that thought Calais Campbell was a speed rusher, not a power rusher. Let me not start with this guy. Maybe we can see Jadeveon get his first sack of the season, but this guy got to come with it this week, because after last week with that 15-yard penalty on the sideline, that was unacceptable, and he's just hurting his chances of getting paid.
All right. Yeah, man, not playing in the game, losing money from getting fined for penalties that should have never happened. Breaking news, Baylor, man, what is the one Jadeveon Clowney? Not even just, I mean, really thinking about it, not just Clowney, because I mean those big 3 as a whole that we expect haven't really shown up. But what does Clowney specifically himself need to do after missing a game? You know, the injuries looking like it could be a potential problem again. And this is a guy who's in a contract year. What does he need to do? What do you need to see from Jadeveon Clowney to have confidence in him getting that cash and that big payday at the end of the year?
To me, this is his last best chance to have a multiple sack game, multiple tackle for loss game, and have a huge impact on this season in the game. Offensive lines we face, maybe the next worst offensive line we face is the Buffalo Bills, but that's a few weeks away. But this is the time now where he has to start showing his dominance. If he don't start showing his dominance, then the offer is going to get smaller from us, and then the offer gets smaller, and he feel like he's being cheated, but really he's not. He's not worth what everybody's saying he's worth when he can't get a sack and he can't get, to the running back. Even with being held a lot, still you should still be able to find a way to make a play. J.J. Watt finds a way to kind of disrupt plays. Duke Ejiofor is a rookie making more plays than him. And he wasn't even a high round draft pick. He was later rounds and still make an impact on this game. You seeing rookies like Reed making big plays at big moments, but you're seeing Clowney make the worst play at the worst moment, which is being right there in the middle of the damn, right there on the sideline, making a bad decision and going up to somebody. Yeah.
A bad decision, like wearing a bright green shirt, but but okay, we're gonna hop to the offense side of the ball. We're gonna single out somebody on the offensive side of the ball for just a second, and we're talking about the most important player on the offensive side of the ball, and that's Deshaun Watson. We saw in back-to-back weeks Deshaun have I don't want to necessarily say self-imposed fumble, but basically it's been on exchanges, one with the running back, one with the center. It could be either or. That's between those two guys to figure out how that works. And then you saw back-to-back games where he threw into double coverage or made suspicious decisions as far as handling the ball when you've had opportunities, you had guys that were open. Now, part of this we can blame on the offensive line not giving him enough time, but then there were stats that showed when he had plenty of time, he didn't make the best decision. When he had less time, he actually makes better decisions. So I start wondering, is Deshaun a guy that needs to be under just a little bit of pressure to really execute? As opposed, I'm not saying, look, just not everybody have a free run at him, Rankins. I'm talking to you. But does he need a little bit of pressure to shine or what? We'll figure out, I guess, today. But Do you see anything from the Giants defense? Do you see anything that could be a potential threat to Deshaun Watson? And what does Deshaun Watson need to do to kind of bounce back? And he threw 300 yards last game, which ain't bad, but still, to bounce back from some of the decision-making issues. Do we need a completely clean game from Deshaun today, or what would you say? Starting with Braylon.
For some reason, a completely clean game evades this team, no matter how good the team looked. I mean, last year, Deshaun Watson had a near-perfect game against Tennessee. He still ended up throwing an interception. No matter the last great, no mistake leading quarterback game was Ryan Fitzpatrick against Tennessee 4 years ago. Since then, we haven't had a clean game. But today, I think this is the first time we'll see. I'm going on a limb and saying Watson, clean up his mistakes. He came in game series. He came in with the AI jersey and the 4 cups. He quadruple lean in the day. With the AI throwback Sixers jersey with the game face on. So I think today he goes for 400 plus yards. So with no interception.
Oh shit, 400 with no INTs. Are you going? Is that a mark my motherfucking words? I mean, let me. I got
my motherfucking words.
Oh goddamn, that's it. 400.
I'm as confident Deshaun Watson is today, as confident as I was Georgia whooping on Mizzou, the golden ass Tigers, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I'm just as confident as Deshaun Watson and Georgia right now.
I believe I believe you're confident, man, because you wore a Kermit the Frog shirt on the stream, so you have to be confident. You have to be confident today for that type of shit. Wise man, what does Deshaun have to do today, man, to really kind of silence all the haters? To silence all the doubters, to silence all the superintendents. What does he have to do today to prove that he belongs? Well, I'm not saying that he doesn't belong, because he's already proved that he belongs to the league. But what does he have to do to prove that he is the man that we believe he is?
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt real quick, but that superintendent, just to let y'all know, he resigned.
Yeah.
So he got.
He didn't even want to get fired.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's too much sauce.
But he just got to go out there and be himself today. I mean,
baby.
When Deshaun Watson is the best at the best of his game, he's just going out there having fun and being himself. He got to get the underneath game going. He got to start hitting guys on slants. He got to start hitting guys on cutback routes and ditching it back to Lamar Miller out of the backfield. And then that will open up those deep passes that he likes to throw and take chances on every now and then. It's no need to go out here and try to throw the ball deep at the beginning of the game. They don't have Eli Apple. They don't have their best pass rusher, Olivier Vernon. So I want to see this offensive line create a pocket for Deshaun Watson so he can be able to make those decisions he can execute. But this guy, he got to get that connection with Will Fuller going. We've seen that 8 touchdowns in 5 games. That's a crazy stat. And hopefully he can add another 2 touchdowns today against these New York Football Giants. So all I want to see is Deshaun Watson is be himself, go out here, have fun, and that's the way he's gonna ball out. And I want to say, Braylon, you still in my takes, man. I said Deshaun Watson was gonna get 400 yards 3 days ago, fam.
Ooh, what? Oh, let me find out that we got a taker. I can't believe it. I can't believe.
Hey, but you didn't say no interceptions. I said no interceptions in there. So mine is different to yours. Okay. And you still mad at me because you decided to choose that team and they ain't never done shit and they got okay. That's for another time. But like I said interceptions.
Braylon, you gotta be careful, man. I feel like you're about to throw in that hard R.
Yeah, I mean, we know he's firing up. I know this goddamn. You should have let it rip, goddamn, man. But man,
why stay at your house today? If you see a burning cross outside,
you go pull up with the Uncle Ruckus, man. But shout out to Broderick, man. You got a very good point. That's something that I think somebody mentioned a couple of weeks ago, and I've been thinking about that the last few weeks. And I think I'm kind of on that belief that Watson, he does give you that Brett Favre element, and that might just be the kind of guy you get you a guy who'll get out. He's going to sling it. He's going to play big, but he's going to make some mistakes. But you know, he has the potential to get you to the promised land. And I can ride with a quarterback like that. But I'd like to see some of the mistakes cleaned up and see more victories. But Hector, man, your thoughts, man? What does Deshaun have to do today to clean everything up, to get everything in order, man, to just get us back on the right track? I mean, he is the leader of this team, the quarterback we've never seen. What does he have to do, man, to get the Texans in position for the win today?
Play like he normally plays. I feel like he's been playing very stiff. He's been playing not the Deshaun that we've seen, you know, last year or even in when he was in Clemson. So I want to see, you know, Deshaun Watson feel comfortable in that pocket, but not only that, but feel comfortable being able to run, because when he can run, that defense isn't going to know what to do at that point. Is he going to throw it deep or is he going to run it? So, I mean, I want this offense not to become one-dimensional. He needs to make this as multi-dimensional as possible to make this defense be on their high heels, because at that point he's going to be able to have that 400-plus yard game with no interceptions. And I said it. I think he's going to break out for a 50-yard touchdown.
Is that a mark my words?
That's my mark my words.
All right. I got you down, Hector, with the and you sticking with the 400 wise, or you got a different mark my words? I don't know if you got me. You're wise. You sticking with the 400, or do you have a different mark my words?
Oh well, my mark my words is that the front seven is going to combine for 5 sacks today.
Okay. Front 7 for 5. All right. So, man, y'all already know how this works in the chat, man. Make sure y'all get y'all, hashtag mark my motherfucking words, and I'll try to jot down, and I'll try to get track of everybody as much as I can, and we'll award some sauce everybody who has a correct mark my motherfucking words, and if you don't understand how this works, it has to be a bold prediction. Can't be just Hopkins gets a touchdown. That's not nothing. It's not Will Fuller gets to 50 yards or something like that. It has to be a bold prediction, something that does not happen every game. You give a bold mark my motherfucking words or an accurate prediction, then you'll get everybody in the sauce rewarded with $100K per correct mark my motherfucking words. So front 7 gets 5 sacks, and I got to think about mine before we get to that. But I kind of want to talk about some other elements of this team. Just kind of looking at everything as a whole. You have DeAndre, all these damn D's. You have DeAndre, you have Will Fuller, both combined for 100 yards last game. And then some people want to say they want to take credit away from DeAndre for that last one. But I mean, shit, man, getting double covered all the time. And actually speaking of double cover, let's hop to the other side of the ball first. Is Odell Beckham a guy that we need to keep double coverage on, and again, and allow that front 7 to do what they do, and just stop Saquon? I mean, are these guys stoppable? Do you see either one of these guys having a big game on this defense? So before we get to talking about the Texans offense, I want to talk about the Giants offense versus the Texans defense. So do we end with Hector last time, or did we end with Brady? Okay. So Hector, your thoughts, man? Saquon and Odell, they're two biggest playmakers. I mean, how do we handle these guys, and how do we shut that off?
It's gonna start with the trenches. If this D line and just our pass rush can get to Eli Manning, you gotta start it at the head. You need to apply that pressure, because I mean, if Eli is not able to, if Eli feels like just trapped that whole time, he's not gonna be able to get the ball to Odell and Saquon. They need to put as much pressure more on Saquon Barkley, because if Barkley can come out big in the passing game, that's where the Texans usually struggle. So I want to see them put as much pressure on Saquon Barkley.
MMFW Texans
obviously have like a safety,
penalties.
Underneath, to be hovering around Odell. But I would say it starts with the trenches. If they can get to Eli quick, those weapons are not going to be as useful.
Okay. And that's something I can definitely agree with you. It is, like you say, you got to cut the snake off at the head. Wise, your thoughts, man. What do the Texans need to do to make sure Saquon and Odell do not have a big game against this defense?
First of all, with Saquon, they got to wrap up and tackle today. You can't be arm tackling. We can't be missing tackles like against that screen with the Tennessee Titans giving up that touchdown. it's going to take multiple guys to contain this guy. Everybody's going to have to be running to the ball. Everybody's going to have great pursuit angles. And with Odell Beckham, he eats on slant routes. That's his number one route, is slant routes. So I hope the Texans coaching staff game plan the correct way against this guy Odell Beckham Jr. They need a safety over the top of him, and they need a corner guarding him all game. Throw a linebacker in coverage like Dylan Cole. Throw Zach Cunningham in zone. So hopefully they can contain these two guys, because if you contain these two guys, this Giants offense is nothing. With Sterling Shepard and Eli Manning and Evan Ingram. So those are the two biggest guys they have to lock down in order to win get a win today.
Breaking news, Baylor. What's the game plan, man? How do we stop these guys? How do we shut these guys down? Saquon and fucking Odell. You know, Beckham Jr. their biggest playmakers. What do we have to do? What do the Texans need to do to make sure these guys are relevant?
Well, I believe the stop Odell is going to be between the underneath coverage of Jonathan Joseph and the overhead coverage of Tyron. Those two are going to, try their best to stop Odell together. And that's off the fact of Sterling Shepard right now is a disappointment. I'm saying it now. He's been a disappointment over the past couple of seasons. And hopefully Kareem, Jackson, K-Jax, I'm just going to call him K-Jax, because his first two games has been phenomenal. And to stop Saquon, to be truthful, Dylan Cole is going to show the world who he is. He's going to show them guys that Saquon may be good, but I'm able to slow his ass down. I got speed like Saquon. I got strength like Saquon. I'm going to stop this man myself. Him and this is going to be Cunningham's best game this year against him. Just because of the fact of their offensive line is not their normal offensive line. Like I've said, Eric Flowers is a star, and this is just some other guy at right tackle. So, Wise. It's not Eric Flowers. It's somebody else. They say they bench Eric Flowers because they say he's too ass to start. So, out the fact of that, I think the biggest worry is having Dylan Cole, pass cover Saquon, and that's how we would slow everything down.
Pardon me, I'm over here trying to make sure I get all of them down. A couple of things we got to think about now. I want to flip to the other side of the ball. I want to talk about what the Texans bring to the table. Now, we talked about Deshaun, what he needs to do to get everything back in action, but we have some weapons of our own. We have some playmakers of our own. When Will Fuller is healthy and available, he opens up things for DeAndre Hopkins, and they work complementary. I believe a caller called in this week, said, the yin and the yang. You got to have both elements. You got to have that possession guy. You got to have that speedster. But Will Fuller's also shown that he can be a possession guy. He's a guy that can make catches, which is the most impressive thing, because, we thought he was just really going to be a deep threat, but he's shown that he's developed the hands. He's shown that he's developed the skills, and, we just got to develop the hammies to stay healthy. But he's shown that he's a legitimate NFL receiver. And my thing with him is that he needs to stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, for an entire season, even though he already kind of missed one early, or for a majority of a season, I think that you got a guy, you can kind of move him out of that category. Because I don't want to put him in the bust category, because when he's available, he's a contributor. But it's been a lot that he's not available. And so that kind of hinders, kind of the decision on him. But looking at the playmakers, and let's not discount Lamar Miller. We got the number one rushing attack in the league right now. So I want to know, do we continue that trend? Braylon to go and get a chicken burger. I
hope he's going to get a chicken burger. I don't. Yeah, you know what he does in his free time.
Oh man, look, you see, they're looking like a red hat in the back on top of that thing. I don't know what that is. Braylon, how he get down. But we'll start with Wise, man, and then we'll come back whenever Brandon gets back from his chicken burger snack. What do the Texas playmakers have to do, man? Who's going to be the standout, and do we keep that number one rushing attack going today, in your opinion, Wise?
We should be able to have that number one rushing attack going, but it all starts with Nick Martin. He's going to have to handle this guy in Snacks Harrison, because this guy Snacks Harrison is one of the best run stoppers in the league. I believe in Nick Martin. I've been watching the film. I've been telling guys Nick Martin is the truth for a while. Guys in the chat don't believe Nick Martin is good at all. So they just listen to PFF and things like that. But when you actually go and watch the film, Nick Martin is our best offensive lineman. So the running game starts with him, Zach Fulton, and Senio Clemente right there in the trenches in the middle. We got to run in between the tackles. That's what I've been seeing us to see that so far this season. When it comes to being the biggest playmaker, it's going to have to come up to being DeAndre Hopkins. We got to see 150 yards out of DeAndre Hopkins this week. He got to go out there and dominate. He can't be calling for the ball in double team coverage, throwing Deshaun Watson off of his game because, I mean, other guys are open underneath, and we got to get those guys going this week. We got to get Bruce Ellington more looks this week. Mahomes, I said Mahomes because I seen the Mahomes jersey, but Will Fuller got to get going this week as well. I mean, he had a good game last week, but I want to see it. I want to see it be consistent, and I want to see him make a big plays because what I seen from Will Fuller last week was kind of impressive. It took multiple guys to take down Will Fuller. Last year, you could barely touch this guy, and this guy was falling down. So, I think these guys just got to ball out collectively.
Look, guys, Deuce, I hope not, because look, if we collect that many penalties and Bob has some type of health situation on the sideline, you know what that meant last time that happened for the Texans. So let's hope that does not happen. All right, Hector, man, your thoughts? Who's going to be the offensive standout for the Texans? Who do we need to rely on? How should they implement Lamar Miller? I mean, what do these guys need to do to make sure it's not just all on Deshaun Watson? How do the Texans succeed offensively against this Giants team?
It's going to start with the whole run-by-committee thing. We're talking about Lamar Miller and Alfred Blue coming up big, and as well as Deshaun Watson. I think all three have to do well in the running game because it's going to open up the passing game a lot more. I want to see some play action. Shoot, I would love to see some RPO, but obviously that's not going to happen. But it's going to start with the running game. I think the running game is going to be able to open up the pass. So, yeah.
All right, we saw Braylon just slide back in here like a slithery snake, looking like a garden snake in that green. But yeah, I'm gonna give you a hard time about that. So, what are your thoughts, man? What do the Texans need to do on offense, man? Who's gonna be the offensive standout for the Texans today? To take some of that pressure off just Deshaun Watson. Do we keep that #1 rushing attack going? And what do the Texans need to do to succeed on offense against this Giants team? First, I need you to succeed against the mute button. Succeed against the mute button. Beat that mute button, and then we'll be good to go.
Y'all just gonna give me a hard time for the rest of the season, aren't y'all? But we haven't seen the design QB runs like we did last year, especially in the red zone. Those help the running game a bit because
it's too much sauce.
O'Brien
has
calling same trash place since 2014.
To a quick slant, real quick. The Hopkins get open every time and sit like in the end zone, or that the QB run can lead to some options like a triple option. You never know. It might be something that Bill O'Brien might want to do, but Bill O'Brien is ego heavy. And that he thinks his traditional style offense will work in today's game when it don't. We know it don't. But today, I think we keep our #1 rushing, our #1 rushing status. #1.
Like the Nelly song, I am #1. All right, so y'all know what it is, man. We have to go out on a limb, and I got most of y'all's marking my words. If I missed y'all again, I apologize. It's one I did miss, and I'm trying to go back and find the chat was moving. Okay, let me make sure there's actually a couple I missed. But I want to get the official. I want to get the roundtable's official predictions on the outcome of this game. First, I predict that Breaking News Baylor eats 2 chicken burgers by halftime. And then I'll give you my score prediction after. So we'll start off with Braylon. Because, yes, we're going to give you a hard. Because, Braylon, we're just trying to figure out between the Georgia fandom, you know, the khakis and the white polos with the red hats. I mean, just a lot of little interesting things you got going on over there. We're just trying to figure out. I mean, we're gonna give you a hard time till we get it all figured out. But what is your score prediction? And you know, again, this is how it works, all sports, because you guys are the freshest motherfucking ingredients. I want to know what y'all feel in the chat. Like I said, I may not get to read everybody's comments, but definitely take note. And when I see some interesting comments, I definitely make sure to put those in. And if the again, I see somebody say they were trying to do it. If the super chat don't work for you, go to streamlabs.com/saucesports. You can also donate via that way. But breaking news, Braylon, man, your thoughts, prediction, score prediction. What is the score of this Texans game?
First off, I want to say fuck y'all for bullying me like this. I'm just kidding around, of course. But score prediction: 31-14.
Hard time for the hard R.
And I'm predicting that somebody gets a punt or kick returned.
You predicting that somebody gets a punt or kick return?
Yes. And who was that did? Fuck you, child.
So I mean, so just anybody gets to return a kick or return a punt? Does anybody, or did it mean there's somebody?
Irvin, Fuller, Ellington, somebody. And
so somebody just gonna return. I mean, are they gonna call for a fair catch? Are they gonna score on it? I mean, are they gonna?
They gonna return it for a touchdown. You know what?
Okay, I'm just double checking, man. Just double checking. Why, man? What is your score prediction for the Texans? And you know, I mean, what do you really think is gonna happen? Give us some numbers.
I mean, my original prediction was the Texans was gonna lose 19-16. That's just saying. So hopefully they win. Hopefully they go and make me eat crow. But I'm going to say that the Texans come out and win this game by a score of 28 to the Giants 14, because the Giants haven't scored over 30 points in the last 3 seasons. So the Texans got to go out here and dominate with that defense, and the Texans got to go up there and score some points with Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins today.
Okay, all right. Man, Hector, your thoughts. What is the score prediction for the Giants versus the Texans today at NRG Stadium? I want to know what you think.
I think I'm gonna go a little bit lower scoring. I think it's gonna be 17-14 Texans.
Okay. I'll make sure I get a couple of last little mark my words. So you're saying 17-14 to the Texans. Now this puts me in an interesting situation, because from what we've seen the last few weeks, Texans have had a little bit of a slow start trying to get off and get going. And we talk about the situation with the Giants and the offensive line issues, but we can't overlook our own offensive line issues. Not so much the interior, but the end caps, the tackles. And it's something to be concerned about, you know, because I mean we've seen guys that relatively aren't that impactful in games get a little bit of shine against us. So that is a concern. If they can clean up some of that mess, I would be grateful. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say the Texans finally get it all together. I'm not gonna go too high. I'm not gonna shoot too high though. I'm gonna say 27. And I'm gonna say that Fairbairn misses a field goal sometime during this game. But I'm gonna say 27-13. That'll be mine. And I think that's what I'll run with, just a little slightly under what Wise predicted, 27-13. And I'm going to roll with the Texans on this one. Hopefully that they do not disappoint. And, you know, but again, like I said, that offensive line issue and their offensive line issues, I know a lot of people have been talking about that. But that's something that we weren't able to capitalize on last week, which we should have thrived. And do you think that maybe the Giants, they take a look at what happened last week with the Titans? Because I mean, Eli's better than Blaine Gabbert. Come on, you know. Odell's better than Corey Davis. Do you think the Giants try to pull a rabbit out of their hat? They try to hit the Texans with some trickery, some tomfoolery. You know, try to catch them slipping like the Titans did. Do you guys see that possibly being a factor in today's game? Because Saquon, I would take Saquon over whatever the Titans have at running back, and again, Odell over what they have there, and again, Eli's a better quarterback. So I mean, they still have the potential to do what the Titans did. Do you think the Texans could possibly fall for the same trickery in that situation like that?
I don't think so. I think that when teams do trick plays, especially as early. I think the Titans scored that touchdown early, right? It was like first half trick play. Mm-hmm. Usually teams that do trick plays are like pretty desperate. So I don't know if the Giants would pull that. So I mean, we're talking about Mike Vrabel pulling a trick play, and I mean, you know, we could still say one thing though. If that play wouldn't have worked out, everybody would be saying that Mike Vrabel should be fired right now.
Yeah. That would have gave Texans great field possession.
Yeah, they just should have been prepared for that shit, them motherfuckers. But what are your thoughts, Wise? How do you feel about it? Do the Giants have the potential to try to pull a rabbit out the hat and try to hit the Texans with some trickery, like catch them slipping and unprepared?
I mean, I had a dream, low-key, that the Titans wound up doing that same play again and wound up working again. So I feel sorry for the Jaguars if that does happen, because it is absurd. It was a lucky play. I mean, they did capitalize off of the Texans' mistakes and poor game planning and things like that. But I've been seeing a lot of teams run some trick plays. Everybody want to run the Philly special now, like the Browns and the Eagles running the Philly special again and things like that. So you never know what to anticipate. I mean, both teams are 0-2, so look out for them to open up the playbook a little bit more. Maybe you might see a trick play involving Odell Beckham Jr. So I believe they might try to do something. You never know, because both teams are 0-2, and you got to find out some way to get a win.
Okay. And I agree, man. You got to do something. You have to do something. Breaking news, Braylon. Will the Texans fall for the okie doke this game?
I've been saying this over the past week. If they fall for the okie doke, first off, fire the special teams coach, and then if they do, Bill O'Brien job is in serious jeopardy, because you can't let a team just hit you with the two different teams hit you with the okie doke back-to-back weeks. If, like I said, if they fire, call him my boy David Shaw. That, big ass, comeback last night, 17 points. David Shaw doing this thing over there. That's my man. I'm a ride for my bro.
They're gonna ride with a cross in the back of the truck and burn it in his yard. I'm just saying, I just find it very interesting, your support of the black coach after those hard yards you've been dropping lately, Braylon. I'm just wondering. But no, in all seriousness, going into this game, and we're gonna wrap it up here shortly because it is almost time. We're gonna give y'all a few minutes to get prepared, and give myself a few minutes to get prepared. I ain't even getting no goddamn pregame snacks. Very interesting thing, though, across the division. The Jags are going to be without, what's his name, for another week? Leonard Fournette. Yeah, he's out. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because, again, that kind of levels the playing field slightly. But, no excuses really either way. But I think the Jags will probably end up eating and doing what the Texans were unable to do. Because I think when you pull out those trick plays like you guys mentioned, it kind of wakes other teams up, lets them know to be prepared for certain shit. And I think the Texans hopefully have woken up and should realize that, there's always the potential for that. But then again, you wouldn't expect a team to try to do the same thing multiple weeks. But then the fact that people don't expect it is kind of why you might try. I mean, you just never know. It's very interesting to see what could possibly happen. But I want to say shout out to everybody who came through with the super saucy super chat love. Shout out to Asmel, shout out to Voodoo, shout out to nigga who could. I appreciate all that. Another thing is, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly, bro. Now he first he was with Georgia, now he down with Stanford. Like, I mean, this international man of mystery. I'm just trying to figure it all out, bro. Just let me know.
Hey, I'm not a Stanford fan, but I want David Shaw here in Houston. Okay. If y'all are stupid enough to say that y'all don't want a head coach who has done things in his career, who has done things in a different coaching tree, then something's wrong with y'all. I'm just saying, I want this head coach for my football team. If y'all are bashing me for saying that I want David Shaw as the Houston Texans head coach, then y'all don't deserve to be Houston Texans fans. I'm just saying that right now.
I mean, what is David Shaw done in the league? Because we know Saban is considered one of the greatest head coaches of all time in the collegiate arena. But we saw what happened when he tried to play with the big boys. He just wasn't.
Woo! Le'Veon Bell, they're listening to trades right now. I swear to God, I just got that. The Steelers are listening to trade for Le'Veon.
Okay. Woo woo, Soul Train. I mean, it was. You got excited.
Only reason.
Damn, Brandon doesn't even know where he stands at in race.
I was like, damn. I was like, God damn, what is this? Is the game already started? Am I late or something? Somebody got levied already? Like, I thought somebody got depleted or some shit. God damn.
Nah, it's Le'Veon. It's okay. I'm sorry. It's been a couple of crazy days with news. Football. Breaking news,
man. Breaking speakers, Braylon. Here's the deal, man. Here is the deal. So, my thing is this, man. We gonna get this W. Let's be positive. Let's go in this game with some energy. Let's not go in here down. Let's not have the negative juice. We back at home, man. We talking about, it's a young team. We back in the house. We about to get this W. Deshaun's about to go off. Hopkins about to go off. Watson is Deshaun. Fuck it. Fuller's about to go off. Miller is gonna be the. I ain't got nothing nifty to say. I ain't got no rhyme for Miller. Lamar will be the star. Goddamn. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have the most yards rushing of any player on the field today. That'll be my words. So it should be obvious. But he's gonna outrush Saquon. Hop will out catch Odell. Shit, Fuller gonna out catch Odell. You know what I'm saying? Both of our receivers. This is my words. Both of our receivers will have more yards than Odell Beckham. So Fuller.
We got to run that ball.
Combined?
No, but together, each one of them will both have. Fuller will have more yards. Hopkins will have more yards. Shit, Bruce Ellington might have more yards than goddamn Odell Beckham. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, Kiki Kuti gonna have more yards than Odell Beckham. He ain't even fucking playing. He gonna pull a Clowney and miraculously end up in the mix, even though he ain't in the game. But here's the deal. Sauce Nation, y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Shout out to the roundtable for holding it down. Y'all got anything y'all want to say real quick before we get up out of here?
It looks like Rondé Barber's announcing this game, so
yeah.
Watching them.
Yeah. I want to say shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all be sure to be coming through at the post game, even if we lose, even if we win. It don't matter. Y'all stay deep no matter what. I just want to shout out to y'all loyalty because y'all more loyal than these Instagram thoughts out here. So I just gotta have a huge shout out to y'all. Y'all deserve some credit out here.
Exactly.
All right.
Hey, all I want to say is fuck y'all for bashing me the way y'all been bashing me this damn week. Shit.
I'm just saying. Just make sure you got the green shirt on after the game. And it'll still
I might not even be here for the after show dealing with y'all.
It'll still be more to say. Man, hit that like button. What's that damn 91 and 26 like? Hey, we can't hit that like button. Like button free. I know that it's entertaining. I know that you're enthralled. I know you're enthusiastic. But just hit that like button real quick. Let YouTube know we ain't out here just bullshitting. They're gonna think we some spam or something. You know what I'm saying? Getting a bunch of views. They're gonna like, what is this bullshit? But I appreciate.
I would say shout out to everybody. Hey, Astros just clinched a playoff spot like 2 nights ago. So, things are happening in Houston. Hopefully the Texans are now pumped and they want to be in the mix too. Shoot, Dynamo got a championship game on Wednesday, so let's do this, Houston.
Right, so everybody else winning. Let's hope the goddamn Texans can get some W winnings. And that's fucking eat those pastrami fries. That's fucking hilarious. But again, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I want to say shout out to all y'all. Yes, post-game show immediately after the game is over. So make sure y'all tune in. Make sure you tell your friends. Sauce Line will be open for your thoughts, whether they be happy and joyous, whether they be angry and upset. But y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Chugging up a deuce. We appreciate each and every one of y'all, and we will see y'all immediately after the game. We out.